think it's been important to get some of our players back. You know, I think we went into the last 2 games, I think 8 senior players missing, which certainly didn't help. You know, our back line was sort of patched together, shall we say. What it did do is it gave some of the other lads an opportunity to get some minutes, which I think has been beneficial for them. Like a young junior, I think Junho Bae's played some more minutes, Lois had played some more minutes. So I think in that respect that's been beneficial for them to obviously get sort of thrust into the action. But I think for us as a team, obviously we want to make sure we've got our strongest squad and strongest bench available so we can be as competitive as possible in all the games. I don't think you can read too much apart from obviously the heart and effort and endeavour that we put into the last 2 games, but I certainly don't think that the games are going to define our season. I don't think that that's going to define us as a team in terms of how we played in those 2 matches as well. Obviously we tinkered with a couple of things to try and help the group that we're obviously going to play in those matches, but I think hopefully from this point onwards we'll see much more how we would expect ourselves to play.
You said after the last game that you're optimistic that 4 or 5 players should be back for this next batch of games. Is that still the case?
Well, there's good signs at the moment, so there's a lot of them back on the grass. We're still getting our training session tomorrow, so we'll have a look at them then, and then we can make an assessment in terms of where we are. But yeah, I do believe we'll have a lot more players back for this one.
Last week you brought Kieran Clark in as a new signing. What made you go for him to bring into the defensive reinforcements? We've
targeted the left centre back since the start of the window, so I don't think that's any news to anyone. It's been a difficult process in terms of trying to get one of them across the line. I think Kieran was one we'd spoke to before the window shut, and I think due to the fact that Ben Wilmot's injury sort of made it much more time sensitive in terms of getting it done and getting Kieran up to speed. So he's been in with us now for over a week, and he's been doing a lot of training just to get himself match fit as quick as we can. He's not quite ready, as you'd expect, because he's not played any games since the end of last season, so it'll take a little bit of time, but hopefully not too long.
How important was it, like you mentioned, that you got a left-sided centre-half?
Well, that was the aim, you know, to give us balance with that left foot. Also, make sure we've got one that's sort of maybe a little bit more old-fashioned in terms of the sort of talker, leader. I mean, barks orders on the pitch, will go and put his head in when it hurts, that type of. And I think you need those type of lads, you know. And obviously we had a few targeted as well throughout the window. Obviously Kieran being one that we spoke to before the window ended, but I think we're pleased now that we've got it done.
Sunderland on Saturday, what sort of game are you expecting?
Tough game, you know. I think that obviously there's the added bit of me obviously having left Sunderland just over a year ago, so I think obviously the first game up there, I think that was sort of seemed to be the focal point of the game. You know, I think there's a long time past now between when I left to now. I think we have got our own needs in terms of the points. We need to get some more points on the board, and I think they've started the season well. So yeah, listen, we need to win. We want to win the game. We need to go and perform. We need to play well. I think for the supporters, particularly Sunderland supporters, it'll be one where they'll be really keen to get one over on me, which is fine. It's the nature of sport, so I get that. But we need to go and try and put a really good, strong home performance on and hope that the fans can get behind us and we can get the points. I think we need to make sure that we're good without the ball. I think we're going to have to show composure and make sure that we make good decisions on the ball. And I think that both boxes will always be key at this level. I think, you know, making sure we don't make any silly mistakes, we don't get any cheap goals away, but equally we're clinical and we're more sort of free-flowing at the top end of the pitch and we can create opportunities.
The most recent match was a memorable one from our perspective. How much confidence can you take from that game?
Yeah, I think you can take confidence for the fact that we know in the type of atmospheres, do you know what I mean? Because it was a good atmosphere up there for the game. And I think that we need to be calm, play with cool heads and try and get the points and get a good performance on the pitch. I think we did that. So this is going to be the next test and see if we can do it now. Obviously we've got a lot of changes to our squad. I think a lot of their players on the pitch in particular are quite similar to what they had the last time we played them. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game.
Community Day on Saturday. How do you feel when you see the work that Community Trust does within the local area?
Yeah, I just think that football's such an escape for a lot of people, you know, in terms of the community and the local society, and I just think that we've got so much to offer because of the way people look at football and footballers. You know, and we've got the players in particular are role models for a lot of these sort of younger people, and I think that we need to make sure that the community is aware that we're there to support and help, and whether it's giving out free tickets, whether it's going to see people, going to visit them in hospitals, all that type of thing. I think that we've got a duty to the local sort of community to make sure that everybody recognises what the club and what the players and everybody connected with the club's trying to do.